Okay, and that fall in inflation, I perhaps suppose, is a good thing in the way that it gives you as a central banker more room to maneuver, but it's also a reminder of the disinflationary forces that have been brought on by this coronavirus pandemic and just what's happening in the way of growth. I mean, both the IMF and World Bank have some pretty stark outlooks in terms of your growth outlook for next year as well. I believe that IMF is standing at about 1%. So do you think the measures you've taken today are sufficient in order to improve growth to the best of your ability?
They are certainly in the right direction. Fiscal policy gave support. We gave support. By our measures, the total amount of liquidity injection that we have done as a combination of deferment of loan principals that were coming due, some concessional credit schemes that we have launched in partnership with banks, we have provided so far about $7 billion US in terms of liquidity support to households as well as businesses. That's about 2.5% of GDP. This is on the central bank side. And for a country that also has large public debt, as you mentioned, it's what we consider a prudent response. We have to strike a balance, Nancy, between giving prudent response and watching our fundamentals. Right now, we are confident that we are striking that balance, and we are prepared to take more actions within that construct of striking a balance if needed.
Okay, and it's extremely difficult, and we certainly don't envy central bankers such as yourself in this environment who have to, in many ways, become experts on the health crisis as well. Just giving your view to what is happening, though, with the coronavirus in Pakistan, I mean, how concerned are you today about the rise in cases and what that could do to the economy?
We are very concerned. First and foremost, Nancy, this is a public health crisis. We have to remind ourselves of that. And only on a secondary basis, then it becomes an economic crisis. So until the public health crisis is addressed, we should continue to expect challenges on the economic front. Now, with regards to the overall strategy, as our Prime Minister has also emphasized, lockdowns are a luxury of the rich. For countries like Pakistan, the trade-off between lives and livelihood is a very real trade-off. We have lots of day wagers who, if they do not bring money home at the end of the day, will be looking at starvation. So countries like Pakistan that don't have savings pools to dip into on when there's a rainy day have to make these tough choices. I think the smart lockdown strategy of locking down hotspots in cities so far is working reasonably well, and we are confident that with the combination of measures, for us on the economic side, we should come out of this crisis largely unscathed.